How cool is that? That video, I just love. I could watch it a million times. I probably watched it well over 100, and I could still keep watching it. The artist, and I'm gonna mess up his name, and I don't know how to say his last name correctly, so I'm making a guess, but I could be wrong. It's Chris Piaczek, and Chris actually is an artist from the United States. He's still alive. I mean, he's even done like graphic design and artwork for Nickelodeon. How cool is that? I just love that video. I love how he takes his continuous line full of all of those curves and loops, and then he turns up the creativity. So he's not just looking at that in terms of like one line anymore. Now he's looking at it and seeing the possibilities. What could that loop look like? What could that space in between two loops look like? What is that long stretch that was just two lines next to each other, but all of a sudden it becomes a shape? What could it be? So as you're looking at your continuous line, and I know I tricked you, you didn't know what was going to happen. I did that on purpose because now I want you to be creative. If I had told you that you're going to create a continuous line and turn the loops and shapes into monsters or little fish or birds or a pizza or, look, even down here I see Spider-Man. If I was going to tell you that ahead of time, it would have changed how you drew your line. So now, because you had no idea what was coming next, when you draw your things inside your line, you're going to have to really, really, really be creative. And where did I put mine? Here it is. Yes, when I showed you it earlier, I saw it this way because that's the way I drew it. And there's that kind of dragon, camel, I don't know what it is. But hey, don't be afraid to turn your paper. As you're looking at things and you decide, oh, I'm kind of stuck, I'm not sure what I see anymore, turn your paper. Oh my gosh. Whoops, over here. This, I feel like I could fill in another little eyeball there. And wouldn't that be like two eyes right next to each other? It could be kind of the beginning of an octopus or just a monster. I don't know. I'm going to go back to this. Where I was drawing all those curves, those could be like mountains or hills. And I could put like a skier, little tiny, tiny, tiny skier going up and down those hills. Or a car could be driving up and down. Or maybe it's not hills at all. Maybe it's a snake. I don't know. So as you're looking at your drawing, turn it all different directions. Oh, maybe it's an elephant now that I'm looking at it. Does it kind of look like the side of an elephant? Who knows? There's no wrong answers to this. There's no wrong answers. So you're going to see a few ideas here on the screen and maybe come up with more ideas on your own. It's okay to make them silly or funny. You saw that in Chris Piaczek's art. He also did such a cool job of like darkening some of the spaces, coloring them in, making it extra black, which makes it like emphasized, or even bringing in patterns. You can see both of those down there have patterns included. And then keep in mind too, you don't have a white marker, so the paper, if you draw on white paper, that would be the way that you show something as white. So this little tiny reflection in this eye right here is because the artist colored everything except that little white part where they wanted it to stay. So, okay, if you're stuck, you don't know what you're doing, maybe you just look and you start to add some faces. Or maybe arms or legs or ears or wings or feet or clothes or hair or stripes or fangs or capes or horns or shoes or noses or spikes or hats or eyelashes. But I'm also thinking about like, what if they were non-human or non-animal? So maybe it could be wheels. I really did do a pineapple. I have all this stuff at school and I don't have it with me. I want to show you. Like I did a really fun one of a pineapple one time and it was one of my favorites. Maybe you're going to look at yours and you see a bunch of like houses, buildings. Maybe you see things that could be in the sky, airplanes, the moon, clouds. I don't know. You could see anything. It's possible that you repeat something. So if you see 14 owls, draw 14 owls. I've done so many of these through the years as demonstrations for the classes, and I always stick a fish in one. So it's okay to repeat, just like it's okay to do something extra silly. Now, this is going to take you a while. If we were in class together with only 35 minutes every art, this honestly would be like a 4-week project. We would work on it 4 different days. I would have never shown you the video on the same day that you drew the curvy line drawing. I would have made you wait. But because it's so cool and so fun, I wanted to show you. But we're going to keep on working on this next week too. So I want to make sure that you save your drawing when it hits, 11:34, and it's time to like put your stuff away, go eat lunch. Please make sure you're putting your drawing, put your piece of paper somewhere where it's going to be safe. So for me, sometimes you guys, depending on where I'm working, I know this is kind of strange, and I don't know what your family would think about it, but there's a couple times where I've like slid drawings underneath the couch in the living room. It stays flat, and I know that no one's going to step on it or mess with it because it's underneath there. Now, every family is going to have their own best spots for you. Maybe you take this and you slide it into that folder that your second grade teacher gave you in your bags, along with like any books, or maybe your Chromebook was even in there. So slide it in there. Keep it somewhere safe. Every person's going to have their own spot, and then we'll come back to it next time. So work until 11:34ish, and then make sure you clean up, tidy up, and eat your lunch. And I'll see some of you at 12:30 today. I can't remember who, but I'll see you. All right, have fun. Again, creative. There's nothing wrong when we're being creative. This might be kind of an ish drawing too. Remember last week where we talked about Ramon and his ish drawings and how they weren't perfect? We're not looking for perfection today. We are looking for creativity. I cannot wait to see what you do. Have a great time with this project.